In a surprise announcement today, Bandai showed off all the upcoming Q2 2022 kits, and I have to say, there are tons of things that we need to cover in this video. So today's video is a little bit long because there are so many new releases from 30 Minutes Mission, Figure Standards, and also Pokepla. So let's get started. The first kit I want to talk about, and also the most expensive kit announced today, is the Full Mechanics 1/100 scale Raider Gundam, coming in at 5,500 yen, and I think this is a very good looking kit. For the Full Mechanics line, Bandai has definitely upped the ante in terms of detail, and I think this is a very good pairing to the previously released Full Mechanics Calamity Gundam. This kit can also transform into the mobile armor form without having to change any different parts, and I thought that was actually quite unique. The lead wire that is the part of the weapon into the hammer, as you can see here, you can actually store it in instead of taking it off and in, so I thought that was actually quite an interesting gimmick that's big into this Full Mechanics Raider Gundam. My only concern is, of course, being a transformable mobile suit into a mobile armor form. I'm not sure how well this entire kit will hold up, so yeah, we'll have to wait and see once this kit is released in 2022. Definitely a must-have if you've already bought the Full Mechanics Calamity Gundam earlier this year. There's also a lot of IBO kits announced today, and two high-grade kits is coming up from this series. There's a good pairing is this Cyclist Schwable Custom 1,760 yen. Not exactly very expensive, and I think the colors itself looks pretty good. Looks like a Graze Custom to me, but what concerns me most are those tiny little feet on this particular guy. So it's gonna be hard to pose, because for those small little tiny feet, I always have issues with model kits that has small little tiny feet. But otherwise, it comes with some great weapons and shield, and if you love IBO kits, I think you probably want to get this. So much so that some people have been commenting that if you're Iron Blooded Orphan fans, you're actually quite lucky, because quite a lot of the mobile suit designs are getting a model kit. Next up is the Sequin, and I think this particular kit actually looks pretty good in the 3D rendering. The colors and the shield, especially the shield, looks very nice indeed. If you actually buy this kit and you give it a flat coat, I think the colors will look really nice as well. This particular kit also has a very small tiny footprint, just like the Cyclist Schwable Custom. Is kind of hard to pronounce the name, and that is also again my biggest concern for this particular kit. But the one kit that everybody's been talking about today is the high grade 144 scale Gundam Asmode. This kit looks really good, I have to say. It is a very unique design, a lot of details on the legs, and also it has some very cool, interesting gimmicks on the feet. So apparently they have not only rebuilt the armor frame for this particular kit, but they've also revised the inner frame to give it a little bit more sturdiness so it doesn't fall apart. What is interesting is about the gimmicks in terms of the feet. It can also transform into a claw. You can also hold a rifle at the back as well, and this being a melee unit, you actually can shoot out the anchor javelin, as you can see in this picture here. Very cool looking, and I actually want a 1/100 scale of this kit if possible, Bandai. This particular kit didn't get any announcement by us a couple of weeks ago because we were so busy with work, but finally we get a lot more pictures from Bandai. Coming in at 3,850 yen, this God Gundam definitely looks very sexy. Tons of details, and it carries the muscular look that we have seen before from the high resolution model God Gundam that was released before this. So this is a very good looking kit, and I'm very sure we will get the Master Gundam coming straight up after this particular guy, because you definitely need to have the Master and the student all together. Tons of details, tons of gimmicks, and of course the biggest selling point for this God Gundam in the RG form is not only the details, but it is also in terms of the articulation. Look at how well the God Gundam can do the split pose. I am quite amazed by this, and I'm actually quite grateful that Bandai is including the halo effect together for this particular real grade kit, because if you bought the master grade before, you know that this is not included, so you need to do it yourself. I'm also kind of glad that Bandai is also releasing some of the retro kits, such as this high grade Guess pants, 4,400 yen, very big bulky kit. There's actually quite a lot of details and gimmicks at the backpack, but it's not really shown in detail because what you're seeing here is still a 3D rendering. So I can't wait to see if Bandai is going to showcase this particular kit in Wonderfest February 2022. Since the event is going to be, opening back up to the public instead of doing it online, what we did this year. So hopefully we'll get to see some form of prototype at the show itself. And strangely enough, yesterday Bandai also announced another kit a day before today's big announcement, and that is the high grade 135 scale Lancelot Albion at 4,180 yen. This is the premium Bandai release in this announcement. This is the only one that I know so far. The rest of them are all normal release. And I have to say, the Lancelot Albion actually looks very good. It's going to come with a lot of clear parts as well. The backpack, it looks amazing. Articulation though seems a little bit limited, but otherwise the overall proportion looks very, very good. I think the design detail is quite true to the original design, so you won't see a lot of crazy detail as what we have seen from the Amplified series that Bandai used to go crazy with. There are more new releases from the Kyokai Senki series, and this guy, the Johan, looks very interesting. I really dig this design, but unfortunately, until now, we are not seeing a lot of hobby stores, especially in Malaysia, carrying any Kyokai Senki kits. And I'm not sure whether this is an issue with supply or is this an issue of lack of demand. Therefore, the hobby stores are not taking up stock. But so far, I have not seen many builders building and showcasing their Kyokai Senki kits. But other than that, this Johan design actually looks very cool, and I actually kind of like this particular design. There are also some new additional weapon set that's coming out from the Kyokai series as well, and this is the Unnamed Warriors weapon set, 1,650 yen. Relatively affordable, but I have to say the weapons themselves looks kind of generic, but it's always good to set up and load up your particular mobile suits from the Kyokai Senki series. So if you guys want to get more weapons for your Kyokai Senki kits that you managed to buy and build, this is probably the one that you will want to get. Also for the Digimon series, Bandai is re-releasing the figurized standard Gallantmon, and this is not a re-release, sorry. What I meant is this is a true to the anime design instead of the previous amplified version that we get, which is tons of crazy details, but this is true to the original design, so it looks pretty good. More cartoonish anime like. If that is what you want, I think this is probably something that you want to get. The polished white color finishing that we're seeing here, I'm not sure whether that is just the 3D design or would that be the actual kit that's gonna be coming out itself. So we'll have to wait and see if Bandai will give us the glossy finish as what we are seeing here. But then that usually comes with a separate stand for you to hold up that very big shield, so it seems like the frame itself will not be able to withstand the weight of the shield. One of the biggest news today is the figurized standard Kamen Rider Black. This kit is going to sell like hotcakes, and I have to say it looks pretty good, but the asking price of 3,520 yen, I have to say it is extremely pricey for a kit that has not many weaponry, not a lot of gimmicks, and it does look very bland for that asking price. There's not a lot of additional parts or fluff that come to this particular kit, so I'm not sure why this particular kit is asking for so much. So maybe Bandai knows that fans will be buying this kit regardless of what price goes into there. So we will definitely see a figurized Kamen Rider Shadow Moon in the near future, that is certain. There's also coming up with the figurized standard Kamen Rider Ghost. I've never liked this series. The series was really, really bad, and I think this is probably one of the worst Kamen Rider series in recent memory. So I was actually kind of surprised that Bandai is releasing a figurized standard figure for the Kamen Rider goes so early right now, instead of focusing other Kamen Riders that they can put their research and time on. This particular kit is just a little bit more expensive than the Figures Kamen Rider Black, but at least you are getting quite more gimmicks, a lot more parts, and also clear plastic parts, and the articulation on the fingers as well. Those look pretty good. Okay. Figure Standard Ultraman has always been a staple in my collection. I really love the Ultraman series. There are two types. This is the action series, which I think if you love to play with your model kits after you build them, you should definitely buy the action series because they definitely are fun to play with. The colors will be a little bit different versus the ones that has the LED light up mode, so you have to choose which are the ones that you prefer. I'm not too sure how this guy actually works on his powers because season 2 on Netflix is not out yet and I didn't get a chance to read the manga, but other than that, it still carries the same Ultraman suit design you have seen from all the other releases so far, and you can bet your bottom dollars I will be getting this. The chest piece design looks quite interesting as well. It looks like a pair of eyes on the chest itself. The last time I did a big coverage on Gunpla releases, Plamo releases by Bandai, I missed out on Pokepla and I got quite a lot of angry comments in the video. So this time around, I'm sharing with you guys all the upcoming Pokepla kits that's coming out from Bandai. First up is Rowlet, 750 yen, relatively affordable, great for kids. And the next one is the Arceus or Arceus, 1485 yen. Interestingly, this kit actually comes with a stand so that you can actually support the 4 legs for it to be able to stand. So it looks like this particular kit will have an issue to stand on those 4 sharp legs on the Arceus. So yeah, relatively cheap, relatively affordable, and I think it'll be a great Christmas gift. Sorry, not Christmas gift. It'll be a great gift next year once it releases sometime in April 2022. What is interesting that is in the new announcement today were some of the retro kits such as the Metal Armor Dragonite set. There is set 1 and set 2, and they all, in one set you will get actually 4 separate kits. In 1:4 scale, unfortunately Bandai did not release any close-up of each single kits, so I do think that these kits are probably using the same OMO as what has been released before, hence the cheap price of 4,500 yen. But otherwise, if you love this kind of retro kit design, which to be frank, it really does connect with me. It doesn't have a lot of details. I don't think the articulation is going to be great, but if you love to collect the retro Dragonite series, you should probably go and get them once it comes out. Series 1 and Series 2 will be released sometime next year. Series 1 is 4,400 yen and Series 2 is 3,850 yen. Bandai also announced some fun stuff such as the Exploring Nature Great White Shark, but when I first saw this, I was wondering, this doesn't look that interesting. Only through closer inspection did I realize that there was actually a very cool opening and closing gimmick of the jaw of the Great White Shark. So when you open and close the jaws, the teeth will actually retract and also come out depending on how you play with it. So there's some gimmick that's built into this particular kit, so it's not a simple cash grab by Bandai. Something great, especially for kids who love to explore nature. One other fun stuff that was released by Bandai was a part separator, something akin to the Lego separator that's sold by Lego as well. So this one will actually help you to take out parts when you put them in wrongly, or there's some issues with the particular parts. And if you put in the wrong connectors as well, there's some different parts within this part separator that you can use to help make your building life easier. Yes, I know this seems like a frivolous item, but I think for some of you will probably appreciate this, especially when you have young kids at home who's learning to build Gunpla for the first time. Now, I know that this is probably going to be shared before already, but yes, there is a entry grade new Gundam coming in April next year. And I have to say, for 1,100 yen, in terms of part separation, articulation, it is amazing value for money, especially the pistons on the knee as well. Definitely will be getting this kit when it comes up because it also comes with those marking. The only thing that I kind of wish was, Bandai to include the fin funnel, but yeah, I guess for 1,100 yen, you really cannot expect that much. If you want to put in the fin funnel on the entry grade new Gundam, you actually have to buy a separate high grade Universal Century new Gundam fin funnel, assemble that and should put it onto the entry grade new Gundam as well. Surprisingly, today there was a Supreme Gundam Gunpla correction. This is a Master Grade version 3.0. But what is interesting about this particular kit is that I think it's being sold via lottery on 18th of December, and it is actually using recycled plastic from the Eco-Plamo series. I'm actually quite interested to know how Bandai actually released a clear plastic with colored using recycled resin. So I don't have the pricing for this particular kit, so I can't really tell you how much it costs. But if you love Supreme and if you're in Japan, you might stand a chance to get and buy this particular kit. And finally, Bandai is also still pushing onwards for the 30 minutes mission series, and this time around a brand new design which is a lot bulkier than the typical design we've seen so far from this particular line. The new Revanova definitely looks a lot bulkier and chunkier, and for the first time ever they're including a movable front skirt, so it does look like some of the design from the Gundam Mobile Suits and Gunpla series is transferring across to the 30 minutes mission series. So that's actually very good news. What is interesting about this particular Revanova is that you can actually combine it with some other kits and also parts from the 30 mission to form a bigger looking 30 minutes mission series. So it's actually quite interesting. There are a lot of different customization possibilities obviously, but I have to say this is the first time that I'm seeing a 30 minutes mission design that I actually quite like, because it is a lot bigger and bulkier compared to all the previous design. The new Gunpla follows along this new design template, so it is also looking a lot bigger and chunky as well. But this time around, in terms of the gimmicks, it does look very interesting on the claws on the left and the right hand. And just like the Revanova before it, you can also combine it with different other kits from 30 minutes mission series and also create something monstrous and better looking as well. And it's time for me to give you a confession. I have yet to build any 30 minutes mission series because, to be very frank, even in Malaysia, 30 minutes mission aren't selling that well. Unfortunately, lucky or not, I've spoken with a lot of hobby stores and there just aren't that many inventory that they're carrying, because they've confessed to me that not many people are looking for 30 minutes mission at this point. So yeah, maybe it'll come to a time where we'll see more and more people buying the 30 minute mission. I just don't know when that is going to happen. But nevertheless, Bandai is still releasing a lot of new optional parts, such as this new optional part set 7 where they have the customized head. So if you don't like the de facto head that comes with the 30 minutes mission, Bandai is releasing a slew of different design. Some of them actually looks like Pet Labor as well. There's one particular design, and some of them actually looks like the typical military heads that you get from other mobile suits. So whatever fits your fancy, there should be one in there for you. There is also a brand new customized weapons Gatling gun set that's gonna coming out next year, and that is the one that actually I thought it was quite interesting. I was wondering whether I can actually buy that and use that for my Gundam model kits. I'm not sure whether it will fit, even though it is 1/4 scale. I think it's a little bit smaller compared to the Gunpla kits. I don't know, for those of you who have actually built the 30 minutes mission, and can you please do a comparison of size for me, right? And lastly, there is also a new optional backpack set for the 30 minutes mission as well. So that kind of looks like the 08MS series backpack design. It looks pretty cool, but yeah, if you guys love the 30 minutes mission, I think this is very good news with all the new announcement today by Bandai of the new kits that's coming out in 2022. For me, I think my biggest excitement today is actually for the Figure Standard Kamen Rider, Ultraman, and also obviously God Gundam and the Gundam Asmode. Those are the ones that I think is really interesting. I really like the design, look and feel of the Full Mechanics Raider Gundam, but to be very frank, the Full Mechanics series isn't exactly known for its sturdiness. So if you want to have a mobile armor form of the Raider Gundam, I was just actually buying two, one to keep in the mobile armor form and one to keep in the mobile suit form. There's actually a lot of nice gimmicks within the Full Mechanic kit, so something that I'll probably buy when it comes out in 2022. It's been a long video. I want to thank all of you for staying with me till the end. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys down in the comment section below. Until then, if you're not subscribed to our channel, you know what to do, and I'll be putting up a big 2021 year review video coming up very soon. So till then, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great new year.